welcome to the next video, my MSI 2022 preview. I'm previewing Group A, going over what I think will happen with this group, going through the group stage, predict the records, give you a player to watch, and just kind of give you my thoughts on how I think it's going to turn out. So stay tuned later today as well. I'm going to have a video where I go over the pocket picks for each team, some teams don't have pocket picks, but, well, they do, but I'll get to it. So I'm going to go over the most banned champions against only one team. And by that I mean, like, for instance, for example, Lucian was banned as one of the top 6 most bans against G2 this past split. Nobody else got Lucian bans to that degree. So that's pretty much an example. And I'm going to do that for, Lucian or whoever else is listed. So, Group A, T1's first, no surprise here. I think they have to turn their monitor off, not show up, or really underestimate these 3 teams to lose. I do think that every weakness that these teams have, T1 can exploit. I think T1's only weakness may be mid. People are going to say, well, why do you have Faker first? I think that, I don't even know if it would be mid. I think it's just players not showing up when it comes to Zayas and Owner. If Zayas and Owner are fine, the game's fine. Otherwise, T1 could struggle in the latter stages of this tournament. So, I have them 6-0. Guma being the player to watch. Guma is absolutely outstanding. Arguably, right now I'd consider him actually the top 80 carry in the world, outright. And I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't argue that fact. Second, this is where things get interesting. Detonation focused me, Saigon Buffalo. I really don't know how to feel about it. I think Team A's can win a game. I think they can. And that is going to cause somebody not to be a tiebreaker for second. I think Team A's can get a game 1. I think mid lane is their problem. Aloned is not very good. And I think support, they're going to really struggle because Straight is a top role swapped support. So I don't know if he's going to do all that well. Trundle is a pick that's a pocket pick that I might get to later today, that they flex. Which, if they do something crazy like that, throw Trundle and bot, maybe they have a chance. Now, people are going to say, why is Saigon Buffalo above Team A's when Saigon Buffalo was the last in your rankings? Well, Shogun's playing, not Big Koro, so that helps. They actually have the roster. And after doing the mid rankings and going over the top rankings, I have a little more respect for Hasmed and Froggy than I did before. And going over the pocket picks that I will be doing later, I have an immense respect for evidently what Froggy brings to this team based on the bans given to Saigon Buffalo. Froggy ends up being not MVP, but player to watch. I think a lot goes through him. He is the facilitator, and he might be their best player. Now, do I think that they are at a Detonation Focus Me level? I don't think so. I have Steel being their player to watch. His Poppy is going to be talked about later today. I think that they have weird champion comps weird comps that they can play that Saigon Buffalo are going to have to prepare for. I think that Eevee is a very solid top laner. I don't think he's going to let Hasmed take advantage of him. And maybe even Eevee is going to get the better end of the stick in that regard. Yao Ring is going to have to play. His champion pool kind of irritates me when it comes to Detonation Focus Me. I went over it in the mid video. His kill participation is really low, and he plays for mid to late game. But his CS numbers are strong, but his kill participation is low. His champion pool would indicate that he should be roaming, but evidently he doesn't. So it's like an enigma. And with that, I think that is where Saigon Buffalo could take advantage of Detonation Focus Me, is through mid with Froggy. I think bot lane, I'm going to give it to Utapon and Harp. Utapon is right now, both of them are my top ranked minor region players. Their stats are fantastic. All their stats are fantastic across the board when it comes to Detonation Focus Me. They really dominated the Japanese league, where Saigon Buffalo, for instance, did not dominate anything. GAM Esports dominated Vietnam, absolutely crushed Vietnam, and they chose to go to the Southeast Asia Games to go crush Bangladesh and the Philippines and Malaysia instead of going to this event and sending Saigon Buffalo to the Southeast Asia Games to crush Bangladesh and whoever else was there. Sorry, I'm a little tilted. I can't give this. I mean, you're a second place team from a smaller region. What do you want? You know, like, do you really think your region is that strong? Like, when really your first teams don't always do that great either. So it's whatever. I really do want to see what Froggy does though for that team. I think that Froggy is their best player, and evidently that is the case based on the bans. I don't think anyone takes a game off of T1, but these two are going to go against each other, and I think Team A's may be able to get freaky against Saigon Buffalo and get a win, or maybe it'll be against Detonation Focus Me. But I think Team A's is going to get a win, and it's going to be against one of those two. I think that Lonely and Five Kid might be able to get something together. I don't feel like Lonely is that bad in top that he will get dumpstered by Hazmat or Evie. I mean, it's going to be interesting. This is probably, I thought about it more when it comes to Group B. Sorry, CB Lull fans. I think that second place for this group is the one that is most contested. I don't think Group B's will be as contested as this one. And obviously Group C should not be contested. And if it is, something very bad happened. But we'll get to that tomorrow and the next day. But this is pretty much it. This is how I see it. I think not many people are going to be upset with T1 going 6-0 or Team A's being last. It's going to be these two. Comment down below. How do you think that series will go? Have you watched the teams, or are you just a fan of one team and you're saying they're going to win when you didn't watch the other team play? Which is whatever. I mean, as long as you admit your bias, it doesn't matter. But, how do you think that series is going to go? Do you think Team A's can pull an upset off and maybe not only win one game, but maybe make a push for second place? Do you think T1 goes undefeated? Comment down below with your opinions. Stay tuned. Like I said, later today I will have another video up where I go over certain pocket picks that were banned against certain teams. I'm going to also do Group B tomorrow. And I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow as a second video. I'll figure it out. But I think I'll have a second video tomorrow of some kind. Subscribe to the channel so you get notifications when I upload. Like the video if you liked it. And thank you for watching.